A Japanese doctor warns, never eat yogurt with these 3 foods. They are silent enemies for your gut. Yogurt is considered a symbol of health, right? But what if it could actually lead to digestive issues, disrupt gut microbiota, and even cause chronic inflammation? Japanese gastroenterologists caution that combining yogurt with these common foods can turn a healthy breakfast into a real silent attack on your gut. And chances are, you consume them together every day. When yogurt is combined with certain foods, it disrupts the acid-base balance in the stomach, suppresses beneficial gut flora, and triggers fermentation processes. This can lead to chronic intestinal inflammation, a weakened immune system, and even impaired vitamin absorption. The most alarming part is that these issues can build up over the years, often starting with seemingly harmless combinations. Yogurt is nutritious on its own. It's rich in probiotics, calcium, and protein. However, when paired incorrectly, these beneficial properties can turn into the opposite. Instead of supporting the gut, it can create a burden. Rather than providing a probiotic effect, it can lead to gas and inflammation. This is why Japanese doctors say, not everything that is healthy on its own is beneficial when combined. If you continue to eat yogurt with incompatible foods every day, your gut won't have a chance to recover. This can lead to a weakened immune system, skin issues, chronic digestive problems, and even leaky gut syndrome. It's not just your stomach that gets affected. It also impacts your brain, mood, and even sleep. The good news is that it's easy to change this situation. You just need to know what not to combine with yogurt and what to pair it with instead. Japanese doctors have compiled a list of the 3 worst combinations, and by the end of this video, you'll know them all. I'll also share some combinations that truly benefit your health. Share this video with your loved ones. They'll be grateful. The first dangerous combination is the acid trap. What does this mean? Yogurt plus fresh sour fruits. Many people think that adding an apple, orange, or kiwi to yogurt is healthy, fresh, and rich in vitamins. However, Japanese gastroenterologists warn that this combination often disrupts the balance of gut microflora, leading to bloating, gas, and inflammation in the intestines. This is especially true for older individuals whose mucous membranes are less resistant to acidic loads. Why does this happen? Yogurt is an animal-based product with a neutral or slightly alkaline reaction. On the other hand, sour fruits like kiwi, pineapple, orange, and green apple significantly increase the acidity of gastric juice. As a result, fermentation begins in the stomach, particularly if the food is consumed on an empty stomach. Instead of supporting the probiotics in yogurt, this combination destroys their structure, disrupts digestion, and leads to gas production. The body ends up working in overload, and the beneficial effect is non-existent. Here's a telling story. Naoko had been starting her mornings with yogurt and a green apple for many years. She thought it was a light and healthy breakfast. However, as she got older, she faced some issues. After eating, she experienced sudden bloating, weakness, and sometimes even dizziness. She eliminated sweets, gluten, and dairy, but the symptoms persisted. It wasn't until a gastroenterologist asked her, "What do you eat with your yogurt?" that things changed. Naoko was surprised but took the advice to heart. She removed the fruits and kept the yogurt with nuts and seeds. Within a week, for the first time in a long while, her stomach calmed down. Now she says, "It turns out I was always mixing incompatible foods." Make a note of what's good to pair with yogurt. Instead of sour fresh fruits, try adding soaked oats, chia seeds, grated pear, or baked apple to your yogurt. These are gentle, soft components that won't interfere with the probiotics. Cinnamon, nuts, and flax seeds also pair well together. They enhance absorption, add texture, and keep you feeling full for longer. You can add a bit of natural honey or vanilla for flavor. Remember, the key is to avoid sharp acidic contrasts and keep in mind that yogurt thrives in a gentle environment. The second dangerous combination is yogurt with bread and cereals. It's a disaster. Many people are used to having yogurt with toast, yogurt with muesli, or yogurt on top of porridge. It's tasty, filling, and seemingly healthy. However, Japanese gastroenterologists warn that this combination delivers a hefty dose of fast carbohydrates and dairy protein all at once. As a result, the pancreas can become overworked, blood sugar levels rise, bloating occurs, and inflammation of the intestinal lining may develop. What happens in the body during this time? Yogurt contains milk protein and natural fats. When starchy foods like bread, pastries, oatmeal, or muesli with honey are added, there is a sharp spike in blood sugar levels. The pancreas is forced to release more insulin to handle the load. However, in adulthood, its resources are already limited. And what do you end up with? You experience quick fatigue after meals, irritability, weakness, and, over time, an increased risk of developing insulin resistance and metabolic syndrome. Every morning, Ms. Fujiko began her day with her favorite combination: yogurt, toast with jam, and a cup of coffee. It was her energizing ritual. In recent years, she noticed that about 30 to 40 minutes after breakfast, she felt drowsy and experienced a sense of internal heat and heaviness. While she didn't have diabetes, tests revealed early signs of insulin resistance. Following the advice of a Japanese doctor, she eliminated bread and sweets from her diet and started eating yogurt with nuts and seeds. Within just 2 weeks, her condition improved. She felt lighter, her bloating disappeared, and her vision even became a bit clearer. "I simply removed bread from my diet, and it felt like I had lifted a heavy burden off my shoulders," she said. Listen to how you can turn something harmful into a huge benefit. Instead of bread and grains, you can add small amounts of slowly digestible energy sources to your yogurt, such as nuts, shredded coconut, chia seeds, or grated carrots. This won't cause a sharp spike in blood sugar and will help you feel full for several hours. Spices also work well. A pinch of cinnamon or turmeric can stabilize blood sugar levels and enhance the anti-inflammatory effect. This kind of breakfast supports the pancreas rather than overloading it. Another combination that creates a significant conflict in digestion. This combination is rarely discussed, but it's more common than you might think. Meat with yogurt sauces, kefir with meat dishes, baked chicken with a yogurt sauce. All of this seems appetizing, especially in hot weather. Japanese gastroenterologists are raising the alarm. They label this combination as one of the most problematic for digestion, particularly for older adults. It creates conflict in the acidic environment of the stomach, overloads the pancreas, and suppresses the growth of beneficial gut bacteria. As you all know, meat is a heavy, protein-rich food that requires high acidity in the stomach and enough time for digestion. Yogurt, especially when it's cold or contains live bacteria, reduces this acidity and makes digestion more difficult. So, what do you end up with? As a result, food stays in the stomach longer than it should. Fermentation begins, toxins are released, and the entire absorption process is disrupted. This is particularly dangerous for older adults who already have lower levels of stomach acid. Ultimately, this leads to bloating, heaviness, inflammatory processes in the intestines, and even skin issues. Mr. Kazuo has always loved cooking, especially meat marinated in yogurt, thinking it was tender, delicious, and healthy. However, after turning 70, he started noticing unpleasant symptoms like burping, bloating, and drowsiness after meals. The medications weren't helping. It was only one young Japanese doctor who asked, "What do you use to cook your meat?" When Kazuo eliminated yogurt from his meat dishes and started eating them at different times, everything changed. Now he eats meat separately, having yogurt either in the morning or in the evening. "I just separated the foods and felt my body relax," he says. Always follow these rules. If you're eating meat, wait at least 3 hours before having yogurt or kefir. Conversely, if you start your day with a dairy product, save the meat for lunch or dinner. Yogurt pairs well with vegetables, nuts, and herbs, but not with heavy protein foods. For lunch, it's better to have soup or stewed vegetables with meat, while dairy products should be reserved for breakfast or a light dinner. This separation makes it easier on the stomach, reduces inflammation, and enhances the absorption of both proteins and probiotics. Let's summarize. Grab a notebook and jot down what you think is important. Yogurt remains one of the healthiest foods for gut flora, immunity, and digestion, but only when consumed correctly. We learned that the 3 most common combinations, with acidic fruits, with bread and sweet cereals, and with meat, can neutralize its benefits and sometimes even cause harm. These combinations disrupt the stomach's acid balance, suppress the growth of beneficial bacteria, and overload the pancreas. The good news is that all of this can be changed gently, without stress, simply by paying attention to your own body. To restore yogurt to its true benefits, you just need to make a few simple adjustments. Avoid combining it with acidic, heavy, or starchy foods. Swap out fruits for baked or soft options, replace granola with seeds, and substitute meat with stewed vegetables. Yogurt is great on its own, or paired with gentle, uncomplicated ingredients. Make it part of your morning or evening routine. This isn't about deprivation. It's about care. It may feel like, "I've been eating this way for years and nothing happened." But often, we become accustomed to feelings of heaviness, bloating, and drowsiness, mistaking them for normal. When you start enjoying yogurt differently, your body will send you signals: lightness, balanced mood, and a calm stomach. This isn't a diet or a restriction. It's about observation and wisdom. Your body deserves gentle treatment, especially now. Give it a try. Starting tomorrow, begin by separating yogurt from fruits or bread. Add a spoonful of seeds or a bit of cinnamon. Observe. Your body doesn't need much to respond with gratitude. Sometimes, just one small change in your bowl can transform your morning, and in turn, your entire day. Imagine this. You wake up to silence, feeling light in your body. The yogurt is soft, pure, adorned with your favorite toppings. There's no heaviness, no rush. Your food isn't just sustenance. It's your way of saying to yourself, "I value my health." And it's really not complicated. Just you, a simple morning ritual, and a calm, steady sense of well-being.